Welcome to She's a Full-On Monet, a digital lifestyle magazine for women. Every week, our editor-in-chief, Kelly Castillo, along with Megan Block and special guests, participate in a deep dive discussion about recent articles and topics we have covered. We invite you to become part of our community where everyone's welcome. You can totally sit with us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to She's a Full-On Monet. I am your host, as always, Kelly, and I have with me Megan.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. So we are excited today because we're a little late to this. It's not exactly New Year's anymore, but it is the beginning of a new year. We're still in, the beginning of a new year.
I feel like the new year hits us, but then we still have Christmas trees up, some of us, and so some of us get a little bit of a late start on like the new year, and then some of us are ready to go. I'm the late starter, so I feel like this is completely appropriate timing for me because I wasn't even thinking about this stuff then. No, I was trying to get through.
The first few weeks of January and the end of December are where we do our tax prep and planning. And I also need to do tax documents for all of our employees of all of our companies. So I get really busy and I literally get nothing else done for the first few weeks of January. So I'm just feeling the new year now. I think it's appropriate time to do this topic.
Yeah. And I like it because I feel like it's an encouraging, healthy, good mental healthy way to start it rather than like, I feel, and everyone's different, but I get anxiety when I like write things down. And so to see it visually and to like get excited about that and think about that, like encourages me to think smaller and long-term in like a productive way and not like an exhausted, so much going on way.
Yeah. So we're going to talk today about vision boards, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't think we even introduced
vision boards. Yeah.
Vision
boards. Yeah. I've only done vision boards a couple of times in my life, but I have lately been reading a lot of like financial books, business books, kind of not really self-help books, but that genre, I guess, but in the business and financial world. Because I'm doing some new investments. So I'm trying to get myself kind of more comfortable with some of the terminology and some strategies and things like that. But one of the things that I've really enjoyed is a lot of these books talk about a visualization, and they talk about how kind of like that, the secret thing, where if you repeat things to yourself often enough and you like have a mantra or you have affirmations or you do vision boards or something where you're keeping your goals kind of at the front of your mind, it makes it much easier to succeed in them because you don't lose track, or, it's kind of like putting good energy out in the universe, or however you want to say it. But I've kind of gotten more into that lately because of that, but I never really did vision boards that much. I think you and I did one together at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. And who
It
doesn't
is.
like going through magazines? I mean, like I'd like a dog on the French countryside one day. Sure. Let's throw that in there,
Absolutely.
But on a same but different note, I feel like I am at least 30 to 40% more productive when I write down my tasks for the day rather than try and just remember them on the fly because they're in front of me and I see them. So I feel like with a vision board, if they're in front of me and I see them, it just gives me that more encouragement than just thinking about it whenever it pops up in my head, or seeing someone and getting that FOMO feeling when they have something that would be on my vision board that I want, if I see it in front of me, and rather than just having it being reminded when I'm without it or don't have it, it's a more productive way to get towards that goal. So
yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like having it in your mind and the forefront is always good.
That's the whole idea of vision boards. I mean, it's visualization, but in a photo format for the most part, and maybe some affirmations thrown in if that works for you. And it's just kind of a way to keep ourselves on track and to keep us aligned with our goals and with the person that we are trying to be, and some of the things that maybe New Year's resolutions or things that you're working on, goals that you've set for yourself. And it's just kind of a little bit of an accountability. We keep it right in front of us at all times. It helps us to remember why we're doing the things that we're doing, because we're working towards these goals or these aspirations. And I think there's absolutely nothing negative about it. It's all positive. So if you feel inclined to do this and you have the time and you have the energy, I think this is the perfect time of year to do it. I've always kind of felt, and I not as much anymore, but when my kids were in school or when I was in school, September always felt like New Year's to me because it was the start of a new school year. We usually got new clothes, we had all new school supplies, new backpack. It was kind of a start fresh. And now that my kids, aren't at home anymore, I'm moving a little bit away from that. But to me, when fall starts, I'm thinking it's like new year, new me.
I think we all are forced to think of January as a new year because that's what it is. But no, my new year is still like when my kids go back to school and like I can start fresh, like I can hit refresh on a new school year, whatever. I think of it September onward too. I'm like, January is the middle of the season. Come on,
Well, and when your kids are home all summer, driving you absolutely insane, when they finally go back to school in September, it's like angels are singing. It's the sweet relief of having free time. And you're like, yeah. I'm going to start yoga. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you have all these plans because you have had no time to yourself for three straight months.
I mean, if you probably didn't, but this morning I sent Kenzie for her first day at preschool and she has been with me every single day since before lockdown. And I just came home and I was like,
it's so quiet.
Wow. Like your brain is flooded with all the things and also none of it at the same time. You're like, but it's this like force of like push and pull of like, do I do nothing or do I do everything? Got to pace myself. But yeah, it's like, it's really refreshing when you finally, the kids go back to school after summer and you finally have the freedom to make personal goals. Like, and that's what we're talking about. A vision board should be personal. It shouldn't be like, I mean, yeah, it can include your family. Of course it can, but it should be for you. So if your whole summer has been consumed with kids all day long, then you can't really focus on that vision board as hardcore as maybe you'd want to. So for some of us, it might be September. For others, it might be right now. But anytime you do it, it's inspiring. I've only done it once or twice. And it's only been when it's been asked of me to do. I've never although not opposed to it, it's never been a thought where I'm like, let's do a vision board today. But I do know people are into doing like vision board parties. Like they'll get together with their friends and bring a bunch of magazines and like do it together so that that's fun. Like if I knew that 3 of my girlfriends wanted to bring over like a cheese board and some wine and like magazines and watch like Emily in Paris or whatever that is and like cut out and then talk about it.
I would honestly love that. I would honestly love that.
Sign me up, right? So I think that's a really great, if you're going to do it, but you're like, I don't know if this is for me, then make it a thing like we all do. We just did an article about, like celebrate the smaller things, make a party of like the non-traditional holidays that we celebrate, like puppy showers and stuff. So make it a thing, make it a vision party and, do it with your friends. And then it might feel more comfortable. You might get inspired by what you hear other people are doing and what they're wanting. And it's just way more fun that way.
Yeah. And I think if you are one of those people, we've talked about this before, who has problems with upper limiting, or, you don't really let yourself dream big, that would be a great opportunity to, if you have good girlfriends who are encouraging and positive and supportive, to just kind of like push you to maximize your goals for the year or, whatever. And I do think vision boards are personal for sure, but I think it wouldn't hurt to do like a family vision board, especially if you're trying to save towards like a big vacation or buying your home or something like that. And you want to keep it kind of front and center so you remember what you're sacrificing for, or as a couple too. I mean, couple vision boards, I could totally see that working.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All of the above. Yeah. No, I mean, for starters, a small vision board for yourself, but like, yeah, if you have, that's a great idea. I love the family element because then that's something every day for you guys to look at. If you are trying to save for something big and you're having a hard time making those small sacrifices, having something visual to look at, maybe around the area that you keep your wallet or something is a good reminder of what you're saving for.
When the schools do fundraisers and stuff, they have like that little barometer or that little where they marker it in as it goes up to the top. I mean, that would be so encouraging, I would think, and motivational.
Yeah. No,
and I mean, as kids would just love to see that like go up and up and up as you're saving for, I don't know, Disney cruise or something. Yeah, exactly.
Kids only get excited about that barometer and not getting things when they know Disney's on the other side of it. They're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So as I said, I've only done this a couple of times, but I will say that the I concept is something that I've embraced, because I know when Pinterest first came out, I had a bunch of different Pinterest boards for my different goals or interests. And I would save a lot of motivational stuff in there or aspirational photos. And I used it kind of like a digital vision board, but one of the things, because first of all, Pinterest has amazing amounts of content. If you're looking for affirmations, if you're looking for infographics that have like positive statements on them, if you're looking for anything like that, you can type in like literally fitness goals in Pinterest and there'll be 80,000, photo options. But one of the things I realized is that I did all these cute boards, but I didn't always go back and like revisit them and look at the photos. Yeah, except for the cover photo I would look at, but I rarely went back in there, and like I would have a board of like recipes I'm going to make this year, meal prepping, whatever, and then I would just like never go look at it again.
Mine's such a cemetery. I think I have a great Pinterest. I don't care who follows me. I'm not with it.
It's for me. My Pinterest is for me only.
I don't care if you follow it. I don't care if you can buy from, like, I'm not following that, but like I find a bomb idea or a recipe and I'm like, going to use that on Easter. And then like 3 years go by and I go back to my Pinterest and I'm like, oh, that was a good idea. And I missed my window. Like my thing is so untouched, but also it was so inspiring at the moment. But you're right. It's like, it's a great idea, but also it's not so tangible if you're not on it all the time. And you're not like, if your brain doesn't resonate, like I saved that pumpkin bread recipe in there, you're not going to really go back and retrieve it and then go get the ingredients. Like for me, I'm not. That's not me. So I totally feel you, because my Pinterest is, it's great, but it's not used. And I've put a lot of work into it. I made categories. You probably have too.
Me too.
Yeah. How often have you used it? Like really?
I did use like the recipe board for a while.
Good.
But yeah, a lot of it, no, I haven't gone back and even looked through the boards that were like my goals or motivations. I haven't even gone back. And I've noticed one thing I do know about myself is that I have a problem with object permanence, meaning if something is out of sight, it is out of mind for me. So if I have like a board in my closet where all my necklaces hang on it, if I had them in a drawer or in, a jewelry box or something, I would never wear them. I would forget I had them. So I have to be visually reminded that things exist, because I'm one of those people who's constantly, I'll pull out like a mug from the back of the cabinet. I'll be like, this is my favorite mug, but I haven't even thought about it in a year and a half because it's in the back of the cabinet.
You know what I'm getting from these podcasts is that I am learning so much about myself through you defining things. I'm like, I didn't even know I was that person, but I am so that person. And I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. But now I know how to fix it. If I have the space, I'm totally hanging up everything, because I wear the same 3 or 4 necklaces because that's where they hang. And I have a whole jewelry box of things that have dust is on them. And I'm the same way. I'll find a mug up top and I'll be like, I love this mug. Never thought to ever search for it personally, though.
No, I would literally forget that it existed because it's not in my line of sight.
That's amazing, which has made me less attached to things. Like when I need to go through, like get rid of things, I'm like, well, I haven't seen this in a year and I haven't even thought about it in a year. So I could probably do without, but like, I didn't know that was a thing. It's like an object.
But once you know that about yourself, it helps you organize your closet better, for one. It helps, like, I know that whatever food is in the fridge, like in my sight line, is what I'll grab. And so like snacks I'm trying to avoid.
We need to do an article on this. We need to like, are you a person that does this? This is how you can make your life better. Because honestly, it's crazy how many people like are like this. We're getting off topic, but I think I didn't know that was a thing, and it is totally me. And now I need to know how to better my life, because now I know this is me.
Yeah. Wow. This also explains why I have about 72 Post-it notes all over the place, because I have like, don't forget to call that person, do this, do that. And I have to,
this is me. This is incredible. We're doing another podcast or article on this, because this is so many people, I bet. Because
it's so many people. Yeah. I think this is common.
I think knowing it's like, great. I know this about me, but how do I make this tangible with my life? Not better, because I don't feel like it's a problem. Well, it's a little
right. We're going right back to last episode's awareness laundering.
Yes,
where if I'm aware of this,
I can't, but I sit on it. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I need to be guided on now what. Now we're here. What next? So, oh wow, that's crazy. Okay, but anyway, vision boards.
Vision boards, yes.
That's so crazy to me. But you're right. If a vision board really helps, especially if you're that type of person, because it's right in your face and you see it and you're reminded on a consistent basis. And vision boards can come in all shapes and sizes and terms. Before we started recording, I was sharing mine, which is like the 1998, had to bring it to class for an 8th grade project, like board. And then you made a digital one, which, you know, whatever, like for me, this is great when I'm home and I'm home and I'm like getting ready for the day, but it's not around me all the time. So I don't know if that is going to set me up for personal success. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, mine was out of convenience because we were traveling this last
but it's
5 days,
also
but
brilliant. Yeah.
I also, you know, I want to set it as the background on my desktop computer because I'm on and off of that thing all day. So if I have it as the background, which I'm going to see it all day, and it's something I think will just kind of help me remember, you know, what I have looking forward to, and what's going on and what my goals are, things I want to kind of keep in the front of my mind to remind myself things. So, I mean, I did the same thing when we talked about organizing your phone screen or your desktop screen. I still have my phone categories organized by affirmation, and I really think it has helped me.
Because I want to like loop back on certain things that we've discussed, because I wonder if like, how's meditation going?
It's not.
So some have changed for the great and some are not so great. So like I never did the phone affirmation thing, but I'm always curious if that really does help, how long people stick with it, you know, if you've seen an improvement in any sort of way.
And you know, sometimes I don't see it because I'm moving through my phone so quickly, but every once in a while when I open a category and it pops up at like all of my home, we have smart homes, right? So all of my smart home control apps are in a folder called I Am Sheltered. So every once in a while it'll pop up, something like that popped up, I think it was yesterday. And it was in my face for a minute. And I just took a minute and kind of like, yeah, you know what? Like I don't need to stress out about whatever's going on because my basic needs are met. I'm sheltered. Like I'm worried about something that's so extra not important, and it was a nice little reminder. So I think
I mean, if that wasn't there, that reminder wouldn't have been there. So even if you catch it 10% of the time, you're 10% better for it. So
yeah, or like all my banking apps are under the category of I have enough, and it helps me to see that and be like a little bit less, take things a little bit less seriously, that maybe feel serious in the moment, but in the overall scheme of things, I'm incredibly blessed. I really don't have anything I need to be super freaking out about, and just take a breather, you know?
Yeah. No, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to talk about vision boards. We're going to show you our vision boards that we did. Megan did the magazine cut and paste one, which is the old school and traditional. Anyone can do this. You don't need to have any tech savvy skills or special programs on your computer, anything like that. Literally just grab a bunch of magazines or print out pictures or whatever you want to do, and get a glue stick and some kind of big piece of paper, a big board, whatever you want to use.
That's literally what happened.
Yeah. And get to it. And I think, you know, the fact that it's old school, I kind of love that because I like real books. I like to turn pages more than like a Kindle or something like that. I like to look through stuff and kind of take it in and cut it out. It feels so much more intentional because you're really, you know, you're really thinking about what you're doing at the time. You're present in it, and you're not just, you know, dragging and dropping.
I grew up as a kid and an adolescent, like grabbing those teen magazines and finding my favorite people and covering my door and my windows and stuff, like my mirrors and stuff with it. So like, this just feels right at home to me. Do you feel like a vision board has to be like, can it be light? Can it be light? Can it be something that you're like thinking 10 years out, or does it have to be in the moment this year? What do I want to achieve on a serious level? You know how sometimes when you're going through, you're like, I'd like a Ferrari, you know, can it be something that is more lighthearted, or is it very direct?
No, I think it can be whatever is speaking to you at the moment. I mean, for the vision board I'm going to show you guys today, I have a lot of stuff going on this year, and I'm not naturally a long-term thinker. I do better when I cut my projects into little pieces, and I break it down because I get overwhelmed really easily. So I tend not to have that long-term vision because it almost overwhelms me. So I did a
I'm sorry. One of the blades in my room that I'm in is like off center. So for some reason, the fan, I think the button, like the battery got weird. You hear that?
Yeah.
And so I'm sorry. We just have to like cut all this out. And so I'm trying to stop it because it's clearly a sound that's going to bug. I don't know what happened. Let me each see if I can like physically stop it. 1 second. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I stopped it and I took the batteries out of the fan. So if it starts to try, I think it could do it again. It won't unless it's possessed. That was fun. I was like, I can't even fake this for the next 20 minutes. She's going to hear it and think that I have like cutting class happening behind me. All right, we'll cut that out. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So yeah, when I try to think too long term, I get really overwhelmed. I tend to, if I have a really big project or really big goal, really big task, I break it into smaller pieces and it makes it much more manageable for me. It's like that, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time kind of saying. So my vision board that I did is just for Q1 of 2022. So I just did a 3-month vision board because that was what I felt comfortable kind of really actually being able to execute those tasks. And then I will have different goals for Q2 of 2022.
I love that. I will tell our listeners and our viewers that I do not have a printer where I'm at, and I was restricted to the magazine choices that I had. So mine is a little kind of like, wow, that's a vision. But if I could make my own personal board, I probably would have made it more tangible to what I wanted to achieve on the more immediate basis. Cause I just feel like, I mean, yes, we should all dream big, but if you don't have more tangible short-term goals, then it just, I feel like the human person really thrives on like executing something. So if it's so far away, it could kind of feel a little exhausting, So mine might be a little bit of that, but that's okay. Cause that's kind of like my vision board was a little bit more like not fantasy thinking, but more long-term, like, what I'm really, if I could close my mind and think what I would really truly want, these are some things that when I saw the visuals, they reminded me of that. So
yeah, manifest the crap out of that.
Manifest. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. So, but if I had a printer, I feel like if you have certain ideas, typing it in a keyword on Google and then printing out a picture is a really great way to just visually see those things. And also mix it in with because the magazine portion is just so fun.
It's so fun. Yeah.
It's freeing. It doesn't like for me, I'm a little limiting on what I feel like I can achieve. And so when I'm doing the magazine thing, I'm at the mercy of what's being printed in these magazines. So it allows me to be a little bit more free with what I feel like my vision is rather than restricting myself to putting in a keyword. So maybe a mix of both would probably be what I would do. Long, short term, but seeing tangible, but also more fantasies like goals, maybe not fantasy, but the ones we really manifest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, I think I'm going to work my way towards that because I think I have, I got issues, man. I got issues from childhood, man. And I don't give
a hard time putting the spaceship on your vision board, huh?
I don't really give myself permission to get excited about things until I know they're actually going to happen. Because so often I would be looking forward to something only to have it like go away.
You're just trying to think this way.
I'm always immediate, deal with the next thing, instead of like, if I really said I really want this to happen, I feel like saying that out loud would make the universe be like, not for her.
Oh man, so you are the like manifest nothing. Like I'm not doing that.
But that's not okay.
I feel like you should try this. You should try this. Yes, force yourself to try it.
I'm going to because
there's something different.
This is my thing. We're gonna go off topic just one quick second. One of the things I do in my free time, I'm an advocate with foster kids. I mentor foster kids, and it's usually teenage girls. And I tell them something that I'm still working on myself is that when you've been through stuff, and we all have, part of letting go and healing that stuff is also letting go of the survival skills that you learn to cope with that stuff. So I am working on this.
That's brilliant.
one
That's
of my
brilliant.
survival skills, I have a few that I'm working on. But the one I'm talking about today is I don't really let myself dream that big. I'm always afraid of being disappointed by people or by circumstances or by the universe. So because I have been a lot in my life.
But to be fair, we've talked about this in previous episodes and I've experienced it multiple times. The world has shown you to feel that way. Like, girl,
I
you
have
the worst
extremely bad
luck I've ever seen. And I know people say that, but like, really though, I don't know what's going on there. But no, really, if there's anyone to feel this way that you feel and have this guard up about dreaming big, like it's you, because I've
I mean,
it.
I have been, I'm known for having phenomenally bad luck. And and it's something I embrace because a lot of tiny things go wrong for me every single day, but I'm blessed in a big picture way. My family is healthy. I'm provided for. I have everything that I need, but I have the most inconveniences and minor annoyances of anyone I've ever met. And so
off topic, but like, how do you get back into that good headspace when you're bombarded by minor inconveniences all the time? Because I am like you, where I am very blessed, but I let minor inconveniences like hit me like a train. And I don't want to be that way because it shouldn't paralyze anyone, because we all have all levels of that. Like, how do you get back in the right headspace?
Now, because I feel like that, I feel like life is balanced.
You're like, I'm naturally negative. So
I'm like, okay, nothing horribly bad has happened to me in my life. And so I'll take all those minor inconveniences because I see other people who have, a horrible health problem, or they lost a child, or like something you can't really recover from.
You'd rather take the small minor
I'm
ones
making
than
a
the
deal. I'm making a deal with the powers that be and the universe that you can just give me all the little crap that you want. Just don't give me any really big crap.
Same. I feel like I am in that category too, because it's like, if something were to ever really, really, truly bad happen, I have loved ones and people to take care of me. Like, I would never be, knock on wood, heaven forbid, I don't think, in a bad situation like I've seen. So I'm like, yeah, if this is as bad as today gets, okay, that sounds great. Like, so I guess you're right. But you do have a lot of them though. That would harden me a little bit.
But I mean, I'm living in my life now, my life circumstances now, where I have a super strong safety net underneath me. I am very covered and I feel very safe in my life right now, but that wasn't always the case.
Yeah.
So for a long period of my life, I was tightrope walking with no safety net and I never fell. So I feel like I'll take all this shit because I was protected in some way by the universe. That is completely baseless and makes no sense at all. I get it.
No, 1,000% it makes sense. Once you walk that tightrope with no net, you almost like, I don't want to say you feel like an Avenger, but almost. You're just like, well,
things always seem to like the large things in my life always seem to kind of fall into place. Yeah. Like I got the job I was meant to have at a certain time of my life. I narrowly avoided like being homeless at a certain point of my life, but I always worked out. I always was able to keep a roof over my head, keep my kids fed, I keep myself healthy and everybody happy. I don't think even at the roughest times, the kids really ever felt like we lacked for anything. So I feel like everything evened out.
And you came out on the other side and the kids don't think you're crazy, right? So like, because sometimes you're like, sometimes on the outside you're holding it all together, but the kids are like, dude, I'm seeing all of this unravel. And my mom, because like I'm with the kids most of the time and I'm holding it all together. But some days I'm very honest. I'll just be like, I'm not trying to be mom of the year today, guys. I'm just trying to get through today, and everybody get fed and homework done and bathed. Like, there's some days when you just feel like suffocated and it's hard. It's hard to mask that so that the kids don't feel that energy because it's not their burden to bear.
We had a guest bathroom that had like a exhaust fan that rattled and it was super noisy. And I would go in there and close the door and turn on that exhaust fan just so that I wouldn't hear them for a minute and just like literally silent scream, like in there for like a second. And then I'd come back out and I'd be like, let's play pickup sticks for the 175th time today. Can't wait. Please play that Barney song again. I'm dying to hear it. But I needed to desensitize myself for like a second.
Because if you don't, it'll be in front of them. We're so
Mhm.
off topic, but for real though, if you,
Yeah.
it's all about keeping what's important in front of you.
You know,
And
you got to find your ways to cope, whatever that means for you. I don't think there's in any healthy way that you're coping without relying on like prescription substances or illegal substances, or as long as you're getting by. I mean, it's a rough world out there. So
yeah, it's tough. Well, would you
doing
like
it.
to share your vision board first?
I can, it doesn't matter.
Or yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone knows we went through what a vision board
Yes. So
is.
what, just in case you are not aware of what a vision board is, a vision board can be any format you want. We talked about digital, paper cutouts, and it can be any size that you want. That's not important. What is important is that you kind of visualize your goals, visualize the person you want to be, the things you want to accomplish, and you find photos or words, sayings, things that have meaning for you and that remind you of those goals and of the path that you're trying to be on. And you just kind of put them all in a way that looks good to you. It doesn't need to look good to anyone else. It's not a contest.
Right.
And makes you feel kind of warm and fuzzy inside, something that you want to look at every day. And I mean, I would try to choose positive imagery. We're focusing on the goals, not on the things. Don't focus on the things you want to change. Focus on the things that you want to create in your life.
I mean, if your vision board has just a bunch of pictures of like skinny chicks on it, that's not what we're talking about.
We're not talking about
we're talking about the things that will make you feel more well-rounded, healthier, happier, the things that are, you know, in the forefront of your mind or longer term that are positive.
Yeah. Back in the day when people cut out skinny models from magazines and put them on their kitchen cabinets and no. Not talking about that.
What? We're
envisioning the person that you want to become. And it's not, I mean, I guess there could be physical goals for sure, but this is about being a good, well-rounded person who's happy, who feels fulfilled, and making some of your dreams come true. Even if you haven't been able to admit those dreams to anybody else, this is your time to kind of just do something just for yourself and just to give yourself some attainable goals. And that feels good when you actually reach a milestone that you've put on your vision board. I can only imagine like how great that must feel.
Of course. And I know a lot of people, like a couple of my friends do Arbonne, and they get together with their like team and they do vision boards together. Like there's something, if you're open to it, there's something really cool about doing it with friends, because once you've hit that goal, you can have other people that already know that that's a goal of yours further encourage you, and you get to know the people that you love even more, even deeper, because you see what like their bigger dreams are and stuff like that. We know, you know, the smaller things about some, but like some of the bigger visions we might not know until we all get together and do it and share. And then it's really cool to get to know that person a little better. So
I think also this is a great exercise to do with kids, especially like middle school, teenage kids, because it's a great way to have that conversation while you're doing it about how to break down the steps to reach a goal and how to stay on track and giving yourself accountability. And how great it feels to achieve something that wasn't easy to achieve, that you had to work for. Yeah. There's a lot of value in that. And there's a lot of lessons that can be learned in the process. So about sacrificing, about, you know, work ethic, about, I mean, just a lot you could go into as you see, and let them do their own. And as you see what they choose for the vision board, you might be surprised that they have goals they haven't even ever shared with you, or you would never have guessed about. And you can help them, you know, achieve those. That's something you guys can do together. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a world now, my 9, almost 10-year-old is very aware of like the local YouTube celebrities and stuff like that, who have a house at 18 because they have a YouTube account. And it's like, they want these big things because they see like kids at young ages get these really big ticket items. But what they don't know is all the hard work that went to get, like, yes, there's overnight successes or, you know, people that go viral, but there's a lot of them that like they've been training this like a business for a while, and they are thinking like a business. And so yes, it's great to have these big visions, but you should know the steps that it takes to get there and the work that it takes to get there. And if that's truly a goal you want, if you truly want to own a house by 24 or whatever, you know, these are what the things you need to do to get there. You can't just, because they have it, you're not going to get it. That's not the norm, you know, but it's kind of more the norm, unfortunately, now. Even my 5-year-old's like, understands that like certain people have like really nice cars, really nice houses, because they see it, she sees it on stuff, and she's like, you know, like JoJo has an amazing lifestyle, but she's worked her butt off since 14. You know what I mean? So she probably has been very vision focused and driven her whole life, or her parents have been keeping her on goal and on task so she can have this amazing lifestyle at a young age. So it's good for kids at a young age to see that, you know?
Yeah. And the amount of consistency that's required to achieve that is something that most people don't realize. They think, oh, they just make these videos that are fun and they're having so much fun. And
it's so much work that goes into it.
It's fun. Maybe the first take, not as fun, the 37th take, and when it's cold and you're in a, you know, bathing suit because you're filming 6 months ahead or whatever it is, there's a lot that goes into the behind the scenes, and there's a level of consistency that's required in order to achieve any kind of success in that
and
industry.
A business ethic mind and everything. You have to have time management skills, like you know, but a vision board's a really great place to start. You can't just want it. You have to like see it and then have an idea of how you're going to go get it, you know, that would be the next conversation to have with kids.
Right.
You know?
And then, I mean, if you keep the vision board right in front of you in a place that you'll see it every day, you can make conscious decisions to, is what I'm doing today getting me closer to this, or making me be farther away from it? And just having that awareness, even if you don't have like this complicated action plan, just that awareness makes a difference.
That's what I need. Cause honestly, I'm like, do I need this coffee today? Probably. Like, cause it's the small little things that add up over time that will keep us away from the goals we truly have, you know, because it's like for that moment, we've talked about this in previous podcasts, but for that moment, it feels like it's needed and rewarded. But if we have a bigger goal, it's going to require sacrifice somewhere, you know, and that's the small sacrifice that it might need to take. So having
and I mean, sometimes
is good.
I know for myself, it'll be a trying day for me. And I'll say, you know what, like I deserve that. Whatever it is, that chocolate croissant,
which we do. I'm going to preface it by yes, you do. Whatever. You deserve the Lamborghini with the cute puppy in it with all of the chocolate croissants. Like, yes, we do. But
sometimes if you're working towards something that you deserve even more, than saying, you know, instead of that chocolate croissant, I'm going to do this other thing that will get me closer to something that I feel like is going to be more long-term satisfaction. I deserve it even more, kind of.
Like, here's
mindset.
The thing though. We talked about not having negative triggers on your vision board, but if you're one to know that you're having a girls trip in Mexico in 3 months and you just put like a palm tree on there, and that to you represents making good, you know, healthy decisions for your body, which includes not buying the chocolate croissant so you can fit in that dream bathing suit. Like, is that still something that's in line with something that you feel is good? Like, can that be a good vision if it's like
you know what, if you're on that girls trip with your girlfriends and not feeling comfortable in your swimsuit impacts the fun that you have on the trip, you're the only one wearing a t-shirt over your bathing suit on the photos because you're not comfortable, then that's something that is your own goal. If you're doing this because of like, if you feel like there's like society pressure that you need to look a certain way, or
that's not.
But if
it's a personal goal for a personal reason, because you want, for the first time ever, you want to not, like you said, wear the t-shirt on the beach, then that I feel is a very healthy way and you can put it in a way. You
can undertake that goal 2 ways. You can undertake that goal by giving yourself the kind of physique that makes you feel comfortable wearing what you really want to wear without the t-shirt. You can get yourself comfortable with the way that you are now and accept that and find that body love, body positivity. Both options are correct. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Just, choose the one that feels right to you and works for you, and work your way towards that. They're both hard work. They're mental hard work or physical hard work. It's the same in my mind.
I feel like there's also 2 ways to visualize it too. You can put one of those supermodel girls, or you can put, like I said, like a palm tree. Like, one says, they're both saying what you're thinking, but one might make you more resentful inside and get you upset when maybe your goals aren't coming as quickly as you want them to, so to speak. So having something that's not triggering in a negative way, but is also reminding you of that goal, whatever that we're talking about, might be another way to handle that, you know? So maybe if putting like a lounge chair on the beach, you know, because you know that means Mexico, and you know that means, you know, don't DoorDash that, chocolate croissant for the 10th time in 2 weeks, Megan. I'm not on a diet. Well, I'm just saying, like, some of us make some crazy choices when we're in a moment. So, if that, you can totally put your health and wellness in a way that isn't triggering in a negative.
Yes.
Because I feel like those beautiful, like photoshopped women all in those magazines, like those can be triggering, but if we're trying to put a goal that we need to be seen all the time, how do we do that in a way that's not triggering negative,
Yeah, it's a very gray area, like you said. It's rough, but I mean, as women, it's something that we all deal with. I'm sure a lot of men deal with it too, but
yeah,
it's just one of those things that you have to do what feels right to you. That's the only option, right?
well, yeah. Well, would you like to share your board first, or would you like?
I can share my board, absolutely. So let me see. I have to figure out how to share my screen here. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep. Ooh, pretty.
Okay, so this is my vision board. I decided to do a digital vision board because, as I said, I was traveling, so I didn't really have access to, magazines to cut out and a poster board and everything to make it with. So I made this on Canva, which is a free program. I think I had to put in my email address, but I didn't have to create an account or give them any kind of payment information. And it took me a little bit of time, only because I was very intentional about it. And I really thought through what I have going on in the first 3 months of this year. Now, granted, the first month of this year is almost done. So this is really what I'm working on right now through the next 60 plus days. So I looked at my calendar. I looked at, what I wanted to achieve in that period of time. And then I looked for pictures that not only represented what I wanted to remind myself of, but also made me feel good. Because there were a lot of pictures that were better, maybe representations, but just didn't resonate with me the same way. So in the upper left-hand corner right here, this is a picture of New York City, because my youngest child just moved there recently to attend NYU, and I miss her very much. So we are planning, her birthday also is in a couple of days, so happy birthday. We are planning to visit her sometime at the end of February, beginning of March. And it's something I still need to plan. And we've been kind of not making a super lot of concrete plans because of COVID stuff and her school schedule and all of that. But I really want to go, and I want to see her apartment all decorated. I've only seen it empty when we toured it. I want to, spend some time with her and hopefully, just have a nice trip with her, because I miss her. So that's the first one. I know, right? And then the picture of the beach is we at the end of last year, we purchased a ownership interest in a property in San Diego, and we haven't been down to see it. So we're going to do that for Valentine's Day week this year. So I'm really excited about that, because I haven't even seen the property. We purchased a property, haven't even looked at it. So I want to go see it, and I want to have a really nice Valentine's Day with my partner down there, and just kind of, I want to make sure that I'm really present in that moment, and that we kind of get some solid quality time, because things have been a little crazy for us lately. And then in the lower left-hand corner, I have these little like money tree things, because as I said in the beginning of this episode, I'm working on my financial intelligence and my investment intelligence. This is an area of my life where I'm 45. I feel like I should get it by now, but I don't always. And I tend to look at the people in my life who I feel like are more educated or smarter than me in this instance, and I just follow what they say to do. But it's something I really want to get a handle on for myself, and I really want to understand all the terminology, and I want to know what people are talking about when they're talking about investments and money, so that I can make good decisions. I mean, probably for the first time in my life, I really have disposable income to invest and think about my retirement and my future. And I want to make my own decisions. I don't want to be influenced by the other people in my life, even though they're very intelligent in this aspect. I just want to feel like I'm capable, basically. So that's a big goal of mine in this first quarter. I'm working towards making some kind of scary investments for me, because I don't have anyone telling me this is the right thing to do, or just, handling it for me. But I feel like it's something I need to do. So I'm working on that. Over the holidays, I got out of my yoga practice. So here I have a picture of this girl in front of the water doing yoga. I got away from my yoga practice when we had a bunch of people staying here at the house and it was holidays and off of my schedule. But it was something that really helped me mentally and physically. I feel much better when I am yoga, practicing on a regular schedule. So that's something that I really want to add back into my life. And so that's a big goal for me. And I think seeing this front and center will really keep me from making some of the excuses that I make for that I'm too busy or, whatever. So, and then I am trying to eat more plant forward. This is I feel better when I eat plant forward. I've never been a big meat eater, but my kids and my partner are, so I cooked that way for their whole childhoods. And it's not easy to like socialize and go out to eat and stuff when you are, being kind of healthy or plant forward. So it's something I'm working on. And when it's just me, I make really good decisions. But when there's other people involved, it tends to go off the rails. So that's my reminder that, I'm taking care of my body and I'm not getting any younger. And as I think I said this last episode, but I had just lost my sister-in-law who's the same age as me. So it's something like my health and being healthy for as long as I possibly can, not just for myself, but for, the people who count on me and my family is really important to me. So I am definitely being healthy in my eating. That's my goal, to just eat lots of fruits and veggies. And then here I have these rolled up engineering plans in the shape of a house because we currently have 5 construction projects going on right now. And they are supposed to be mostly wrapped up. 4 of them are supposed to be mostly wrapped up by April or May. So I am super excited to be done with this very, very long and exhausting process. And it was super fun and exciting in the beginning. And now I'm just so over it. So this is my reminder to myself to be patient with the process. When you rush things, you make bad decisions, you make mistakes. So I'm trying to be patient and I'm trying to enjoy. It's supposed to be fun and enjoy the process. These are improvements that are going to make a difference in my quality of life. So I just need to kind of soldier through it. By second quarter, we'll be done. And I'm excited for that. So that's kind of keeping me motivated. And then these 2, I put these 2 here just because some of the advocacy work that I'm doing and some of the other philanthropy stuff that I'm doing and some of the relationships I have with the girl that I'm mentoring right now is really important to me. And it's something that I want to continue to strengthen over this first quarter of 2022. Now that, my kids are out of the house, I have a lot more time to focus on these kinds of pursuits. And I built a really great relationship with her. She's really important to me. And she has like an important court date coming up in March and some other stuff that's going on. So this is just kind of my reminder that, I'm a stable presence in her life, which she doesn't have a lot of. So I want to make sure that I maintain that and I continue to grow that. It's important to me. And so that's what those 2 mean. So yeah, that's my vision board for first quarter.
I love that. I love that you did a quarterly, because that really just keeps it like, it really tightens it up and it doesn't restrict you, I don't feel, because you can put whatever you want on it, but it allows you to kind of reevaluate rather than have something more long-term. I love that. It's really cool. Canva, I'm super familiar with Canva and I love that you added all those little elements and it gives you so many photo options that maybe one picture might speak to you emotionally than another that says the same exact thing. So that, because I did run into that problem with the magazine that I was like, I meant something by it, but it wasn't maybe the exact photo of the thing that I was talking about. So Canva allows you to do that in a different way.
I also wanted to point out with Canva, like exactly like you're saying, in the photo section of Canva, I could search by any kind of keyword. And it gave me a million photo options, but I also had the option of uploading my own photos. And I didn't choose to do that with this project because I was able to find photos that really kind of represented what I wanted. And then I could also adjust like the coloring and the tone of the photos because I tried to make these kind of cohesive just because it's more pleasing for me to look at than if they were all different tones.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really glad that it allowed that kind of optimization with the free program. I mean, I didn't need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you
not
said,
like
you
you
didn't
need
pay
to.
for anything. We're not sponsored
No.
by Canva, but we do talk about Canva a lot because it's just brilliant. But I mean, it is cool to know you can just hop right on your phone or
And
your
it's
computer.
super easy. I'm not super tech savvy. I can't.
It looks beautiful. Like
Thank
you
you.
had someone professional come in and show you how to get this done. So,
But I mean, I can't do Photoshop or Lightroom or
No.
any of that. This, I literally just drag and drop, resized. I added some little color elements just to kind of make it look more finished. But yeah, that's my vision board.
that's great. Well, I love that. I did something more traditional, like we discussed, and
Mhm.
I deeply apologize to everyone watching this. I'm also going to describe all my pictures as well. So in case you're not watching, you're just listening, but I'm going to do my best to kind of point out and show it to you.
Yeah.
I, like I said, don't have a printer. So there are a few things that like in my actual real life, I would have probably added, but just based on what I've pulled out. So first of all, I have my family. I did have like a photo of my family because everything that it's hard when you're a mom, like for it not to kind of be revolving around even if it is personal, like your family is, you know, everything you do is a lot for your family. So let's see, let's start with things I would love to get at some point, like the big vision ones, like a nice house. I really like big, like farmhouse style houses. I'm not really like a modern house kind of person. So I loved that this was like a farmhouse with like somebody with their dog walking in the front, and then a car. Man, my car is so bad. I need a car because my kids are getting too big, and I need a new car just because it's just too old. So a new car is like, if I were to pick something on a very immediate basis, is something I'm really trying to figure out because that needs to get figured out. And then I put this bathtub here because I really love like those really like nice. I feel like in my house that I would envision is going to have somewhere where I'm always envious of the people that have a really nice bath setup because I never do. And I'm like, man, when I get it one day, I'm going to have a bathtub with like intention. So that bathtub
Absolutely.
it has like the little thing on top and like candles and like that. Somebody did that on purpose. So that is like one of the things that I'm like, to me, that is like form of relaxation I need to achieve. So, and then speaking of relaxation, I put this lady rolling her face because I never take time, even though we talked about like nightly skin routines and stuff on a little more of an immediate basis. I never just take me time, even if it's 10, 15 minutes to just like do something for myself to make myself feel better. And that's fine for one day, but over time when things start to show and you're like, man, I could have fixed that a while ago. So I did want to this year start to focus on putting more time aside, either at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, to just focus on pampering myself a little bit more. And then I'm terrible at gardening, really terrible at gardening. Like anything, kids are great, but I can't keep plants alive. So when I get this thing up here, this house, that I want to put a passion into gardening, because along with cooking, I feel like once I get how to do things, like you told me that somebody came in and showed you how to like, you know, like
Yeah.
eating. Like once I get the basics down, I feel like it would be really therapeutic because I really like picking out different plants and stuff and buying them, and before they die, I like planting them. So that's something I want to learn more about and then also be doing. And then on this side, I really want a dog. My whole family wants a dog. We all want a dog. My dog passed away so long ago.
I remember Charlie.
Unfortunately, just because of where we've been, because I lived with my in-laws and the spaces that we've had, even the space I'm currently in, I think. No, actually, lies. I found out, my husband told me at first, he told us in front of the kids that it was in our paper we couldn't have a dog. And then I found out that he said that to get out of getting a dog right away. I don't even know if we can, but I really want a dog. Not this one, like we discussed. If I was working with Canva, it'd be a very different looking dog, but he's cute. And then these are more travel related. I really want to just travel more. And for me, traveling is just being more around things that are green and nature. Like the beach is really nice and the desert's nice, but when I go, I like to be more in the mountains and just like within nature. So ponies, nature, like with little, and then like a couch looking outward towards, you know, the green. So
I love that.
Yeah. And for me, I'm really big into fitness right now. So for me, on like an immediate basis, there's some fitness goals that I have that I like to just keep in the forefront of my mind. So those were based on the magazines that I purchased, some things that resonated with me. But that gives you the idea if you're starting out or if you've never done one before. Like I said, I'm a type A perfectionist. This is not, I mean, if I had access to all of the stuff you could buy for scrap.
I love it though.
Ooh, like this would be next level, but it gets the idea across if I look at it, what I'm trying to say to myself. And it gives me that idea of like, okay, that's really what I want, like truly inside, like that's what gets me up at the day. And I deserve to be able to travel. I deserve a new car. We all deserve the things that we really want to go after. But sometimes we either limit ourselves or we are getting a bad spending habits. And then we make poor, small decisions that over time limit our abilities to actually get to our dreams. So it's really good to have something in front of you, whatever it looks like.
I agree. And even if, like you said, with magazines, you're limited, what was in your head when you picked out that picture, what it represents to you, even if the picture itself is not the perfect representation of it.
That's not my dream dog, but it's a dog. And that to me means that, that's what I'm going after. So yeah, exactly. Even if it's not perfect, you don't have to go Google image everything and make it the exact dog. But if, it depends on what the time you're looking at, how much you want to put into it. That's the other thing. This isn't a race. You can work on a vision board, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can work on a vision board over time. I mean, not forever, but you can add things to it. It can
Absolutely.
be something, if you're going full blown for the full year of 2022 and you're not creating a new vision board every month or something like that, even so, like you can take time on this and really put a lot of thought into it, and make it as beautiful and as complex as you want.
Yeah. And you can do it as often as you want to, or revise it as often as you want to, as your plans change, your goals progress. I mean, this is a fluid thing, and and there is no right way or wrong way to vision boards. So you're doing it for you. You have to do whatever works for you.
Yeah. You got to let go a little. Got to not restrict yourself a little bit. And it's fun when you do it. It's fun. So,
right. You're not going to be graded on it. No one even has to see it if you don't want them to.
There's no like review. How much of this vision board did you accomplish this year? No. It's just, I promise you, even if it just gets your mind on the right track, it's better than nothing, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that's even if nothing happens on your vision board this month, this year, that whatever it is, just taking that extra step was reminding you of what's truly important to you, because life gets in the way and we make excuses for all kinds of things. And you deserve to be reminded of what's truly important to you before it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we say this all the time, like you have to advocate for yourself because nobody else is going to. So this is one of the ways that, just reminding you to do something every day that gets you closer to your goals. And it can be a small thing, it can be a big thing. Just every day, if we're making progress over time, it adds up. It's like the snowball rolling down the hill, right? It gets bigger and bigger as it rolls until it could knock a whole truck over. Get started as a little snowball. So every day, take a step forward, and you're going to make amazing progress.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I liked your board. I'm inspired.
I want to go. I liked your board too.
I want to go on Canva and like check it out, because I feel like that would be really fun to add all the elements and stuff like that. I love that. That was great. So
thank you. Yours was great.
I love that you can put it somewhere where it's tangible on your phone. Everyone has their phone everywhere. So if you put it in some way that you see it a lot, that's great too. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you guys got, something out of this. I thought it was really fun. And hopefully you guys are all running off to make your vision boards right now.
Know. Everybody's going to Target to get a poster board and some magazines, or they're just running to Canva. And finally looking at this app that we talked about.
If you do make one and you're comfortable sharing it, we would love to see it.
Yes.
So you can comment on the vision board article that we're talking about today, or you can go to Facebook and search She's a Full-On Monet. Our Facebook site is there and our Facebook page is there, and it has attached to that is our discussion board. Either place, we would love to see your vision boards and see what you guys are dreaming up.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll inspire something new.
I know. I have some space on my board and plenty of time to add some stuff. So yeah, inspire away. I love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining us. We appreciate you guys coming back week after week. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to bookmark our site, she'safullonmonet.com. and subscribe to our newsletter. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you're enjoying this podcast, it helps us a lot if you can follow, rate, and review. See y'all next week.